I think just focusing on one persona is really helpful, because often I think we get overwhelmed by the huge number of things to think about and it's such a complex issue. And so it's really nice to just, and with the team, work through the same person and how we could get, come up with solutions. Yeah, so focus is obviously.
I like the World Cafe because it allowed us to build off each other.
Cool.
So I think for us, and perhaps it didn't come out very clearly, but it was, the thinking is obviously to continue the community and the economy of that community beyond the mine closure. But to think if you could have theoretically a mobile, and obviously we've got a lot of issues with migrant labor and everything in the country and our history. But if conceptually we create a mobile community that is almost special purpose to go around mines, so where there are mining, where you can actually move these people and deliberately create a community that's not necessarily going to outlast the mine, but to understand that they can be relocated in some way and be moved. So I think that was one of the key things. Can we turn the idea around from having to create self-sustaining things where perhaps there isn't a purpose for it to be there, to rather repurpose the skills and the people that are there to go and enhance value and create value in other areas?
I think on my side is realizing that this is a huge problem, we know it, right? And it's a systemic problem. And it's actually through sessions like this that we are able to actually try and break it down, focus it, and see where the potential solutions could lie. We started off not knowing, and for some reason towards the end we have a somewhat good idea of where this is going to. And I envisage that there will probably be more of these sessions that will actually force us to do things like this. To be honest, I don't know. Remember who came up with who's that transgender label? You understand, you are forced, and it goes back to the bicycle idea. We are designed and nurtured to be a particular way, and for me this was perfect. The last time I did such an activity, and it was so stimulating that I thought in different ways. And that allows you to explore different ways of actually resolving this particular, or dissolving this particular challenge, and actually having creative ways of, addressing it within the communities and for organizations as a whole.
Yeah, I guess, as a segue from that, there was a quote earlier that said, perfection is the enemy of good enough. And I think my key takeaway from today is that, this is a journey, and no one has the answers. And so if we're going to wait for the perfect solution, we're never going to get started. But I think we do know enough, to start moving forward. So I think it's a matter of actually pressing enter and getting started.
I've got it. Oh, sorry.
I think for me it's the inclusivity and the diversity of thinking. I'm a startup. Standard Bank is a ginormous enterprise, but we're in the same room talking about something that's relevant to all of us, true sustainability. And the more we have these conversations, and the more actions we take from it, then we're getting somewhere. So thank you.
The open pit mind for me was hearing all the horrible stories and facing the realities of the challenges that we have in terms of youth unemployment, and just the mountain of things we have to do to climb out of them. But the peak was definitely seeing the passion and the ideas shared by everyone from different spheres, different industries, to come together to solve it. So I'm ready for round two.
I love the process, the fluidity and the structure around the process is great, and everything just worked in a very, very different way, and so I personally got a lot out of it, and I think the team did well, and I think that everybody participated in the right spirit, so it was a great process. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope we do it again sometime.
In addition to sort of getting together and learning from everybody, I think the importance of networking, both in our internal team, we've already connected as well as with others. Also, the idea of moonshot came up a number of times, of thinking big and great and high, and And that's important, but I think we also need to remain grounded and do that simultaneously. And the last thing is just that I think this whole process of transformation of land into something productive, of transformation of mindsets into people with hope and aspirations and tangible ability to make a difference.
Can we rebrand it to Mind Shots?
Mind shots. Green shots to mind shots.
Yeah.
So looking at the way the day started, I think voting on the first board to agree on what were the challenges related to the topic, it just shows for me that the future is in good hands. I mean, across the room and all the teams, the same things come up over and over and over again, the repetition we're talking about. So I think it's good to have the conversations, and it means the challenge is real, but we are aware of it. We just need to be in control. So thanks.
I think just to add on to what Professor was saying, what I've learned is you can't moonshot on your own or in isolation. You need a bigger team, you need diverse minds, yeah. So I mean, if this was an Exaro-only exercise, I don't think we'd have come up with these ideas, which was the Standard Bank alone that was doing this. So I think getting different minds, like your idea of impossibility then becomes wider as you bring more people in. So I think, yeah, you can't moonshot in isolation, would be my key takeaway.
All the different person, I think there's something profound about giving the problem a face, because you start feeling and start feeling the anxieties and start really almost wearing that person's shoes to understand exactly what is going on with them, to come up with these amazing projects that we're able to come up with today. But what really resonated with me was of course our project was great, the infrastructure fund, but I'll park that. What really resonated with me was the sustainability, the head of sustainability.
Sarah.
Sarah for me takes the cup. And the reason why is oftentimes we are, and I like how they flipped their solution. I think of it in terms of a mall model, right? So when you know you're gonna have a 50-hectare development, any development, you know, okay, you're gonna actually have a mall, and within this mall you want to have people buy, so you start creating housing community around the mall. So if we had a solution, a sustainable solution for our mining communities, where we know that that's what you were saying, build the mining operation is your first phase, but you know that the second phase, third phase, fourth phase, from day one, that creates your sustainability. Then thinking of it later on, say, oh, let's plant trees. You know already from year 23, we are planting trees because we would have finished 1,000 hectares there, and we're no longer planting, and it's creating a sustainable economy. So for me, that takes the cup. I think it's been an amazing day. Thank you so much.
I think from my side, I think this morning for you works with us every day. It was really refreshing just to get out of and I want to use the word, the depressing circumstances we work in, because this is a reality we face every day. We see it, we try our best, and it's so refreshing just to share that and to have new ideas. Like I said this morning, just to have new ideas coming in and say, listen, but why don't we try this, why don't we try that? So it really made me thinking differently, which is important for us. And for me, the next thing is, what now? After this whole day spent, we shouldn't let this go to waste. There's a lot of big think tank that went into this, different ideas, a lot of information, a lot of brain power went into this. And yes, Exaro self, we shouldn't leave it here. We should take it further and get to implementation, get to decide. problem we prioritize or whatever. But just take this knowledge, take this experience from it, that it has impact on the people that dealt with. I wish there was some of those people that we see at the mine here today